After a year of going virtual, the Boston Arts Festival is coming back to its original location at Christopher Columbus Park on September 11th and 12th. To tell us about this year's lineup of artists, artisans, and performers is the festival's organizer and the founder of Artists Crossing, Jen Matson. Thank you very much for being with us, and nice to see you again, Jen.
You too. Thanks for having me.
John, before I ask you about the people taking part in this, what's it like for the potential visitors? They've gotten so much used to buying everything online over the past year and a half. What's it like to go someplace and see things and talk to people who make them?
It's going to be fantastic. We've all been missing events like this. It's going to be great to have something outdoors in a big wide setting where everything's safe. The artists will all be spread out. The lawn for the stage where to sit and watch the music is really big and wide. So there's plenty of space for people to bring blankets or chairs and socially distance from each other. And I think it's going to be really awesome for everybody to be able to see it in person and talk to everybody, talk to the artists, watch music live. It's been a long time.
I know you have artists who have gotten used to doing business online, maybe more so over the past year and a half, but how important is it for them to have this face-to-face contact?
It's very important. The online, they have been selling online and we have done some virtual art sales and it's been okay, but art, especially painting, is something you really want to see in person. It's very hard to see a photo online of a painting and really feel it or see what it's going to be like in your house. It's going to make a big difference to be able to see everything in person and to be able to talk to us about the stories behind the art, which you don't get in an online sale.
Well, before the pandemic, we'd gotten so used to this festival, we almost forgot why it was started in the first place. Take us back to that, back when Tom Menino was the mayor, I think.
Yes, Mayor Menino started it. Originally, it was to help. Well, it was for the city and for the artists as well, but it was to help kick off the open studios, as every neighborhood in Boston has an open studios event, starting with the Arts Festival, which is the second week in September, and then every neighborhood follows after that, almost through Christmas. So that was it was a celebration of the city's artists and musicians, and to sort of publicize that and lead off and kick off those events.
Well, I know it sounds like a fun experience, but how important is this to not only the city's economy, but to the ability of artists to stay here and tap into it?
It is. It's really an important issue, especially with COVID. The musicians in particular, it's very hard to stay in Boston. The clubs have been closing. Even before COVID, we've been losing clubs. So musicians who are really serious and want to make it are all leaving for New York. Actually, not even New York anymore. It's California, Salt Lake, Nashville, places like that. So it's really important to have events like this in the city and to have people come out and support the artists and the musicians if we want to keep them here. If we want to keep artists creating, we need to support them.
Well, now that you mentioned the musicians, I was looking up some information about them. I think you've got more genres represented than groups. This is quite a mix.
It is. We do that on purpose. We try to have a little bit of everything. So partly to give artists in all the genres the opportunity, and also for the visitors, no matter what kind of music you like, there's going to be something for you at some point this weekend. So check the schedule. It's pop, it's rock, it's country, it's solo singer-songwriters. It's a good variety.
Well, I know a lot of things have changed over the last 18 years or so in Boston, especially along the waterfront. Put this festival into the context of where it is, because you're near the North End, you're near the Rose Kennedy Greenway, the Harbor Walk. So, even if someone doesn't spend all their Sunday or Saturday afternoon there, how does this fit in to an experience of Boston downtown?
It's the perfect location. We have so many people who walk through or are surprised even to find it there, because they're going on lunch in the North End, or they're taking a boat to the Harbor Islands or something like that. And that's exactly where the festival is. It's where Faneuil Hall meets the waterfront. in between Tia's and the North End, and it's a beautiful park with the trellis and the rose garden and the fountain. Well, although the fountain will be shut off for our weekend because of the stage, but it is a great park playground. It's really a nice place to sit and hang out, or to just even stop by and check out everything for an hour on your way to your whale watch or whatever else you're going to do that weekend.
Well, I talk about things that adults like. What about things for kids?
It's really great to expose kids to the artists, because it's not, especially with shutdown, museums and things like that have not been part of our experience lately. So to be able to bring kids to an event like this, where it's free, first of all, it's not an exorbitant, museum entrance fee, and they can come see and talk to the artists and see it and touch it. And it's really something to introduce kids to when they're young and start the appreciation of it.
Sounds like artists are exposed to contact with different people that you don't usually talk to about your work.
Exactly. It's really something we like, and we need, and we want to be able to meet our customers and talk to them, which is different than online. And really, people like to hear about what's behind that particular photograph or painting, or why did the artist do this way. It's something you don't get when you're shopping on Etsy or on our websites and things like that. You don't get that sense of, oh, well, this is what happened, and this is what was going on, and this is why I did this, or this is what I was feeling. People really like that. The stories are really important.
Finally, Jen, we should remind our viewers about the exact time and also where they can find some more details about what you've got planned.
Absolutely. So the website is thebostonartsfestival.com. So there's a lot of info up there. All the artists are up there if you want to get a preview. All the musicians, the set times will be up there shortly, and info about parking and the tea and all that kind of stuff. So the event is Saturday, September 11th, Sunday the 12th, starts at 11 a.m., ends at 6 p.m. both days.
Great. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Hope you can come see it.
There was Jen Matson for the Boston Arts Festival. We'll have more news in just a moment.